sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. I try and make it a point when a salesperson calls me or I get called on by a salesperson to take the call. I want to make it a point to talk to them, to see what they have to offer. Because even if they suck at sales, there's probably something I can learn from it, right? There's something either good or bad in what they're doing that I can pick up and help other people with, if not themselves, right? Somebody makes a sales call to me. I don't buy. Sometimes I'll offer them advice for what they ought to be doing differently. Now, please don't take that as your opportunity to call and give me a bad sales pitch. But I am a buyer, right? I buy all kinds of different products. I get called on to buy all kinds of different products. I think 80% of my LinkedIn page is people want to link with me to sell me shit. But there's some bad behavior going on out there, really bad behavior that is simple to fix. And I thought what I would do is point out one of these things that's happening. It's been happening for a long time. That's hurting people. It's hurting you if you're doing this. You've got to come up with a better way, and I'll be happy to share. The thing that people are screwing up is voicemail. Yes, voicemail. All right. For those of you in the room, what's the only reason to leave a voice message? What's the only reason? Get a call back. That's it. You're not selling on voicemail. You're not doing proposals on voicemail. All you want to do with a voicemail is get a call back. So I got a voicemail today. Went to go see the skin doctor who freaking lit my face on fire to burn up some cancers on my face. I get out of the meeting and I have two voice messages, right? One from a client of mine, quick question. The second one was 3 minutes long from an 877 number. It's a 3-minute voice message. I've got one of these things where it transcribes the voice message. So I'm able to look at it and see from a salesperson from a company, a telecom company, right? And they talk for 3 minutes. I think they get cut off at 3 minutes. Mr. McKay, my name is Susan. I work for XYZ Telecom Company. I'm calling you because you're a customer of ours and you are blah, 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 and on about discounts and free this and blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, I didn't listen to that shit. I scanned the transcript of it long enough to know I didn't need to call him back. I don't want to talk to him, right? Nobody's listening to your voice messages. They'll get about, maybe you get 15 seconds. Think about when you listen to voice messages, right? You're looking at your message. You're trying to decide, is this important or is this not important? Right? You look at the name. Does that come up? Does that look important? Not important. If you're not sure, maybe you listen to the message. How much time do you take to discern, is this something I need to put on the top of my importance list or the bottom of my importance list, right? Usually no more than maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Rarely are people listening longer than that. So if that's your behavior, why the hell do you think everybody else is different? Why do you think somebody's going to listen to your 3-minute voice message, especially if they don't know who the hell you are? Blah, 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 blah. It's gone. 12, 15 seconds. If all they hear is salesperson blather, they're going to hang up. They're never going to call you back. So, Walker, what do I do then? How do I get somebody to call me back? Well, I want you to think about something. Any of y'all out there, fishermen? Any of you ever think about the reasons? There are 3 reasons that a fish might bite a hook. Number 1, I don't know, maybe they're hungry, right? They bit the hook because they're hungry and it looked like there was food going in front of them. Number 2, they look at it, they see something cruising through the water and they go, what's that? They don't have little hands, so they bite it. It's curious, but bit the hook because it's curious. Or number 3, it sees something floating through the water and maybe it pisses them off and so they attack it. Again, they don't have their little hands. They bite it with their mouth. If you catch a fish and you realize it wasn't hungry, It was just curious. Do you throw it back and not count it? Hell no. People will respond the same way. Now, I'm not suggesting you try and piss people off to get them to call you back, although, well, maybe it works. An easier way, though, is just share enough information to be compelling. You don't have to tell them where you're calling from or why you're calling. Short, less than, say, 12 seconds. Here's what it might sound like. Hey, John, Walker McKay. I was checking out your website, had a couple of questions. Give me a call. Boom. How long was that? Not very long, maybe 5 seconds, right? Is that compelling enough to get a call back? Sometimes. Nothing's 100%, right? But you got a whole lot better chance with a short, tight message. Hey, John, Walker McKay. Susan thought you and I should talk. Call me back if you admit knowing Susan. A great way to leave a voice message if you've gotten a referral. It's not your idea, right? It's somebody else's idea. Susan said you and I should talk. Call me back if you admit knowing Susan, right? And laugh. Guts and humor, right? Maybe another is, hey, John, I was doing some research on your company, had a couple of questions for you. 803-917-2817. This is Walker McKay. Always first name, get to the point. You don't have to tell them who you're with, what you want to do, why you're calling. Bullshit. Your job with leaving a voice message is to get a call back. Leave a short, compelling message. Nothing is perfect. Nothing works all the time. But I promise short, compelling messages are better than long 3-minute, 2-minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds to somebody who's not going to listen, and they'll just push you down the list. First name, use their first name, short, compelling message, call to action, hang up. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. Quit wasting valuable digital space on people's voice messages.
Thanks for listening to No BS Sales School podcast. If you haven't already, please take 1 minute to write a quick review for the show. It really does make a huge difference. Also, subscribe to the show and please forward this episode to somebody else who needs to hear it. As a bonus for listening, I'm going to give you access to a free mini course, 7 expensive sales mistakes you're making and what you can do about it. Go to www.7salesmistakes.com and get access to the free mini course. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.